by saying that in quite a posh voice, but welcome back regardless. Sideshow Wilkinson, and we've got an absolute banger of a match.
It's me that's supposed to be doing the Professor X cosplay.
No, it's true, actually. Yeah, look at you.
I'm supposed to be the one welcoming people to my school for gifted youngsters. There's going to be a bunch of them. There was a bunch of them in that previous match, and there's a bunch of them coming up in this match as well. It's Valiant versus the Washington Justice, and there's a lot of rookie talents over on the LA Valiant who are looking to continue their kind of top 10 placement and continue surging up the rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, at the halftime, we're going to have Tezonde stepping in, big LA Valiant fan.
Yes.
We'll see what he has to say in the halftime, whether it's positive, negative, who knows? We don't know the outcome of this match because it hasn't started yet. We're getting into it. Of course, the Los Angeles Valiant versus the Washington Justice. So I think this game is going to be closer than some people anticipate.
Well, Jano and Sigma have both been picked up recently, but it's Valiant that I want to focus on. It's the Valiant core has been a bunch of rookie players that were thrown together. You know, they're not all rookies, but a lot of them have not that much experience. But they found them, I would say. I mean, KSB and Jackson are looking really, really strong when it comes to the Tracer, when it comes to the Ash. These are probably their best heroes possible. Jax on the Tracer just looks amazing, and KSB on any kind of bit scan is fantastic. So Valiant are like a sneaky team to be able to make it pretty deep, I think, in our summer tournament.
Yes, especially if they can collect some of these early wins, because remember, these are the qualifier games for our summer tournament. Does that have a name yet?
It certainly does. It certainly does.
What is the name?
Well, that's for you to figure out. Me too.
Okay, well, regardless. We got the connections. Summer Showdown, you're only saying that because, okay, we both didn't know. The producer whispered it in our ear. We're the Xfinity connections. Okay, he can't play Diva, but he can play the Sigma.
Yes, the Diva is out of the rotation at the moment, but when he comes to the Sigma, he's actually been a very, very strong player on this historically. When you think back to his time for the Titans, and bear in mind that the Titans were an incredibly well-coordinated team, more so than the Washington Justice right now, but you look at the stats that he was able to put up last year, and they are really, really high. Most of them just behind Shoyoga, who is on the San Francisco Shock. It shows you that the rest of the Vancouver Titans at that point were amazing at being able to follow up whenever he stunned somebody. But just his hero damage and his eliminations being right up there as well shows you that he can have that kind of impact on the team. And I think him and Stitch coming into this roster can make a big deal.
Yes, and as we take a look at the wider team of the Washington Justice, we get to see that, of course, as you said, Josh, him and Stitch have been coming in, and his team is making the switch over now to an entirely Korean roster, which is, I think, a positive change, because the Washington Justice has always been a team that they've had personalities per se, in the form of Stratus and Corey in the past, but they were never really capturing the wins that they wanted from the organizational standpoint. Other teams, Florida Mayhem, they've come out like grave robbers out of by making the switch over. It's I don't even know if that's a saying.
Come out like grave robbers. Not usually, but maybe you've met some particularly wealthy grave robbers.
But you understand what I was going for.
Yeah.
Like they're coming out quite wealthy for it. Is grave robbing a good profession?
No.
The ethics of that can be discussed another time as we head into the maps of the series. The first one's going to be Oasis.
It certainly is, and Oasis offers lots of opportunities for alternate compositions. We've seen some of the teams over in Asia run dive a little bit over here as well, along with some double shield brawly stuff, but I would expect the Valiant throughout this game to just be playing double hit scan. If at any point they move away from Shax on Tracer like that, I would be very surprised. So those are what I determine to be the strengths of the Valiant, and I think Justice have got their work cut out, putting up results at a similar level. You know, Tuba, it's hard to find him a role within the current meta because he tends more towards the Mei. So if either of these teams are going to come out with something interesting or unique, I think it would be the new all-Korean lineup from the Washington Justice.
Valiant haven't been strangers to some interesting strategies either.
That's true.
Packing 10 and the team have been kind of just theory crafting some wacky compositions sometimes, but the teams are going to start rolling out. We are heading over, of course, to the university section of Oasis. Very close quarters. You can change up your compositions quite drastically based on this read, if you will, and the teams are clashing so fast right away. Bodies going to be swinging into each other. It's a rumble. in the pits. It's not really a pit, it's more of a corridor, but it doesn't matter because the Valiant are coming out on top. They've got the early kills. KSB shredded them, putting in that consistent damage. Reaper very, very effective, in particular in this section of the map.
Yeah, great strategic choice for KSB to go over to the Reaper. Obviously, that's another hit scan hero that he's really proficient at as well. Shax, of course, on the Tracer. And Valiant go for a brawl comp rather than a poke composition. KSB with an immediate pick onto Stitch, who is only at 10%. He got no damage done in the previous fight.
Look at this aggression.
Oh,
McGravy is out of position. He's all over the place. Someone take McGravy, please. He's okay.
He's in the enemy spawn.
What is he doing? He's in their spawn. Okay. I mean, the man maybe can't be saved when he's that far out into no man's land, but the team are definitely going to be making a good away of it. Rain goes into the boot.
Wow.
He connects it, asserting his dominance over the enemy Lucio. You hate to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Paying off.
Yeah, paying off, because even though McGravy did die, they translated it into a team fight win. It was a nice boot from Arc to get McGravy miles out into no man's land in the first place, but Washington have still got quite a ways to go here. Stitch has moved over onto the McCree to try and apply a bit more pressure on the KSB and Shax, but Valiant are keeping up this constant aggression.
There you go, Shatter comes out from Broadhead. That might be enough to turn this one around, but he does fall. The picks are already going their way. McGravy he's caught out of position once more, but hopefully his team can reciprocate at least, come into the back line, and they do manage from the Washington Justice there. It was almost a good attempt. Chuba used his ice wall to block away Rain's sound barrier, so they only got it onto 3 members of the LA Valiant. Unfortunately, not enough for the Justice to try and clean up, and now you can see that Fire Strike combo. Dreamer goes for the Earth Shadow. He's no stranger to it, but it looks like the Valiant investing so much into this fight to try and turn this one. Could be anyone's game, but not quite when KSB unloads that much lead.
Yeah, KSB with the turn, and this just looks like Valiant all over the place. Stitch has never had an opportunity to even get started in any of these team fights, because Valiant's constant aggression has kept the Justice on the back foot. So desperation swaps now.
Oh, wow.
Arcatuba trying to touch the point, but it just cannot be done. And Valiant manhandled the Washington Justice in round 1. If that's any indication of things to come, the Tayzonde's speech in the halftime might be faster than the gameplay.
It's going to be, I always believed in the lads, always believed in the boys. Don't want to put words into Tayzonde's mouth. I don't know.
I don't think he's going to speak in a Cockney accent either, Brent.
Always believed in the boys, and your fish at the local market, £1.
Now, this map does not play into the rush compositions as well. It's got more high ground, it's longer angles, poke compositions are normally what you see here. Unless you're the Soul Dynasty, where you like to run Winston Zarya Dive. I still haven't forgotten that, Soul. I'm very angry that you ran that, threw away your match against New York. But Valiant are now going to go to their tried and true. I think this is the classic roster for them that's going to be able to do a lot of work. And for the Washington Justice, they make one swap, which is struggle to deal with Shax here. Shax versus Stitch. You might give the favor over to the more experienced player of Stitch, but I think Shax is a monster on this character.
Yep. Stitch went for the back line there. He tried to take out Lastro, but Lastro was peeled away by Shax, actually taking this 1v1, and that's what a lot of this comes down to. Shax goes for it. Little 2-clip action, and he wants to try and take a 1v1 against Stitch as well. He almost wins it outright. No recall available to him, no blinks. Doesn't even matter, and now with Washington Justice, because of that fight win, over on the other side of the map, they just get torn to pieces. They try to take it heads up, straight away onto the high ground, that they're able to win that team fight out, and they've already capped up the point.
What strange positioning from Aimgod to stay with his Tracer on the flank, applying Harmony Orb to Stitch, and attempting to take like a 2v1 against Shax, while the rest of his team takes the high ground. They're just missing Discord Orb, they're missing the damage output, and Aimgod is just a little amuse-bouche for Shax to clean up in the backlines.
Yes, a little French pastry, I know that word very well. Juba with the Storm Arrows. Yo, the fadeaway stick was kind of clean by Shax, but the Immortality Field will be blocking that. Juba with 3 kills now. He has opened it up. Will it be enough? 4 kills? Does he have to get a 5th to really make this happen? So close to making it work. The recall force now being assaulted from every single angle. It's Washington who have capped up this point, turn it in their direction. I've got to say, Juba, not known for his hit scan, of course, it's more of a projectile player. That's why you see him on that Hanzo as opposed to something like the Ash that we see in a lot of these other players. play.
Yes, and it makes a lot of sense, really, to play to Cuba's strengths here. The Hanzo is also great when it comes to the poke war, and he just shows there. You can get picks all over the place. Great opening salvo from Cuba to pick off 2. And I think that Washington are going to need more of that coming out from their projectile player.
There comes Bob, and that's going to be putting a body onto the point to force him to the low ground to try and contest this one. KSP sending the damage in. Janu in trouble. Doesn't get the ult off. Gets brought down. KSP. That disco orb helped him out tremendously. And you can see this damage that's just yoinked into the halt by Dreamer. And the combo is evident, as you can see. Valiant already flipping the point over.
With this man, he's so impressive when it comes to the Tracer. You can argue he isn't the most flexible player in the world. Sure, he pretty much only plays the Tracer and the Reaper at like a top Overwatch League level. But my God, when you get him on those heroes, he is a force to be reckoned with. He's making Stitch look like a rookie, and this guy's been around playing Tracer since 2016.
Shax, quick little zip and a zoom. Getting a bit of information, spots out what he needs to know. He knows where Stitch is roughly playing. Nice ult from Dreamer. Pulls them together here. Supercharge is going to be the priority, but not taken out. Finally, McGravy does remove it with the Hyperspheres. Now Shax is hunting for a target with this pulse bomb. He gets it. Beautiful Hulk combo. But the Immortality Field will keep the Washington in this fight. The Justice, I should say. Dynamite doesn't connect. And 90% now, Josh. And Shax gets the pick onto Arc.
Yeah, already with a pick, but Tuba taking him down. Great shot from Tuba, and that provides a bit of an opening. The Transcendence is going to be traded here, and Washington don't really have anything else to work with. So they're relying on Tuba and Stitch to find picks out of nowhere.
Wonderful stuff from the Valiant thus far, but it is winnable for the Justice still. Janu trying to cause havoc, trying to cause mayhem. They flip the point over. A critical play, despite the fact that Janu does go down. It means that they no longer have to worry about this overtime. They can take a bit of a breather, although it is going to be a short one. Valiant are not going to be willing to give them any sort of opportunity to catch their breath. You can see them immediately taking the high ground away from them, and the swamp's being made. A streamer is going to be moving over to the wrecking ball. They want to be playing aggro, fast, aggression. It's the name of the game. That's their win condition.
Immortality Field thrown out there just to help Blaster, who's on his own on the low ground without a shield to hide behind. But was surely following as KSP unloads lead with his Ash. Coming in from an off angle with the distraction from Dreamer, and the Valiant just make it look simple as they come back in. A lot of players are weak, but they're getting the picks. The damage is done.
The ults have come through. Valiant are looking tremendous. Dragon Strike does take out Rain from afar. I don't think he was aware of it, but a couple of players remain now as Washington try and contest this one. You can see Stitch trying to do the Lord's work, but beaten down by Shax. Loses the on the recall the stick. He got moved on the point, but Shax, he just standing on him in this fight. The 3K? Are you kidding me? Show me some more. I'm hungry for it, Shax, and Shax is hungry for the win. Multiple kills going his way. He makes it look one in a bit of an overwhelming style.
Yeah, and you just can't help but be impressed whenever Shax gets onto this Tracer. The guy's a freak. He just hits everything. His movement's crisp as well. His coordination when it comes to Dreamer's halts. It's a pleasure to witness. It's got to be one of the best metas I've seen for the Valiant squad, and I'm hoping for big things from them. We saw a few glimmers of hope for the Justice fans. You know, Janu with a decent flank, Tuba hitting some good Hanzo shots, but they're going to need to come out with that and much more to be able to shut down this Valiant squad.
Shax had 80% kill participation.
Oh my!
Oh, Shax was
80%.
unleashed. 80% is
kill
absurd.
participation on Tracer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's an animal.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff. Really ridiculous. But the series doesn't end there, of course. We're going to have the culmination, not the culmination, I should say, but the rest of the series coming up. Map 2 after the break.